Hey there, JOLIE here from Within Temptation, but also from some other projects like For All We Know. I was asked the question what my first contact with music was, and that was actually, I think when I was about 11 or 12, a friend of mine, he gave me this cassette tape of the live concert Life After Death by Iron Maiden. And I was instantly hooked. The first song that I heard was I think Run to the Hills. No, I don't think that. I know that for a fact actually. And I was blown away. And from that moment on, I started to collect all kinds of things that concerned Iron Maiden. Of course, the albums on cassette tape at first, because I didn't have a CD player yet. And from that moment on, I started to investigate, if you will, heavy metal, and from Iron Maiden I went to Anthrax and Metallica, and later on bands like Dream Theater and etc. And back then I was still playing the keyboards, but of course, keyboards in heavy metal these days it's more common. But back then, that made me decide that I wanted to play the electric guitar. So for my 14th birthday, I got this starter kit, this in hindsight, this pretty crappy guitar, crappy amplifier, but I was the happiest kid in the world. So that was my first contact with music, I guess. My music influences, well, like I said, Iron Maiden, they played a huge part in my musical development. Both guitar players, Dave Murray and Adrian Smith. Yannick, he wasn't in the band yet when I started to play guitar. And also, I mentioned that band already, Dream Theater. They played a huge influence on me, but also guitar players like Dave Mustaine, James Hetfield, Kirk Hammett, Martin Friedman, Steve Vai, Joe Satriani, John Petrucci obviously. And later on, when I started studying at the conservatory, also guitarists like Pat Metheny, Bill Frisell, Kenny Burrell, even old guys like Charlie Christian and stuff like that. So I picked up a lot of different styles, I guess, and in my opinion that's also something that a musician has to do to develop himself. Anyways, long, weird answer, but I think you get what I mean. Yeah, so For All We Know, that's a side project of mine. I've started that about maybe 10 years ago already. The first album is released April 2011. And it was something that, I've been playing in Within Temptation for the last 16 years. And I have loved it, and I still love it. And I can't wait to get on the road with that band. But, like this year, we're working on a new album, so we're not touring, which means that I have a lot of free time. And what is more fun than writing your own music in your own studio, in your own time, and doing exactly what you want? I love that so much. And after the first For All We Know album, I was extremely satisfied, because I had this goal of releasing one solo album at least before I die. And but since I have so much free time from Within Temptation now, I decided to do another album, and that album will be released September 8th, and I'm extremely happy with that one as well. And I hope that you will check it out. Yeah, the name of the band, For All We Know, I named it like that, but I have no idea when. Maybe 8-9 years ago. I have no clue, and I don't know when, why, how I came up with it. Maybe when I was taking a shower, or I have no idea. The lineup of the main band, For All We Know, I am so incredibly lucky. You have no idea how lucky I am to work with these great musicians. First of all, we have on vocals Woodstick. I've discovered him through his work with Arian. He sings on the 0101100111101 album, and I love this voice. And turned out that he lives in the Netherlands. So I contacted him, and he was keen. He really liked the music. So and he's such a great singer. He can do pretty much anything he wants with his voice, and anything that I want with his voice. He's also a great drummer and a great guitarist. He's left-handed, but he plays on a right-handed guitar, so that really screws up my mind when I watch him play. That's something that's so weird, but it sounds so good. So yeah, that's Woodstick on vocals. Then on bass we have Christopher Gildenlow. He used to play in Pain of Salvation, and Pain of Salvation is one of my favorite bands. I really like that band, and as maybe not everyone knows, but he lives in the Netherlands these days as well. He's married to a Dutch woman. And you know, so it's pretty easy to get in touch with these kind of guys, and he's a super nice fellow and an amazing bass player. Yeah, you know, he can play anything, and also the fretless stuff that he plays, that's so cool. On drums we have Leo Margaret. He's originally from the south of France, but he lives in Sweden now, and the reason why he lives in Sweden is because of Pain of Salvation, because he's he's been with the band for the last, I don't know, 10 years maybe already. And I met him at the Frankfurter Messe, this big music convention thing in Frankfurt, Germany, and that's where I met him. And also he's such a cool guy, and relaxed, you know, but it's also, man, his drumming, that's amazing. I'm so lucky to work with these people. And on keys we have both Marco Kuipers. I studied at the conservatory with him. He's a super pianist. He plays jazz music and classical music like no one else. But he's also really good at Rhodes and Wurlitzer, and that's why I wanted to play with him on this album. He's a good friend of mine. And on Hammond organ we have Thijs Schrijnemakers. Yeah, these names, I can imagine that you won't be able to pronounce that, but it doesn't matter. Thijs Schrijnemakers. He plays the Hammond, and he's such an expressive player. If you have the chance to watch him play either live or on YouTube or whatever, his own band is called Orgelvreten, organ eating, if that's the correct English translation. He's so expressive. It's you know, he plays great, so for the ears it's awesome, but for the eyes it's super as well. So yeah, like I said, I'm really lucky to play with these guys. Yeah, we have 2 albums so far. So the first one, it's named For All We Know, that came out in April 2011, and the new album, which is called Take Me Home, will be released on September 8th. Future plans. Personally, well, you know, this summer holiday is coming to an end, and I'm a teacher at the Metal Factory in Eindhoven in the Netherlands, and it's the first heavy metal college. People get an actual degree in being a heavy metal artist, and of course we do much more than just playing. It's also the business side, and I think that especially that business side aspect of this college is extremely helpful for the young people to find their way in you know, trying to make a living in the music industry. So that's what I'll be doing on Mondays and Tuesdays, and for the rest I'll be busy releasing the next For All We Know album, and I have some other projects lined up, and of course Within Temptation is working on a new album, so I guess that we'll be starting recording that one at the end of this year. So yeah, that are pretty much my future plan. And I'm also busy working on my YouTube channel. I've started publishing lessons, and I just filmed a vlog, actually just finished that one, and yeah, there's some cool stuff coming up. Well, so I guess that these are my questions. Thank you very much for listening, and hope to see you somewhere on this globe. And well, have a good weekend or weekday. I don't know when this will be broadcasted. Anyways, have a good day, and thank you very much. See you later. Bye bye.